Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I have some breaking news coming out from the Gaza Strip. We've got a horrible report coming out just now that it looks like the IDF has bombed a camp inside of Rafah. And this camp was designated as a safe zone in Rafah. There were hundreds of people, most likely, that were here in this area. 35 civilians have been killed. I'm sure that number is expected to rise in the coming hours. Very terrible here. When this bomb was set off, it caught a bunch of tents on fire. Many people, unfortunately, burned in the blaze there after the bomb exploded. And very horrible news, okay? And this comes after just hours ago, Hamas had launched somewhere around a dozen rockets or so towards Israel, targeting Tel Aviv. Okay, so I don't know if this was some sort of retaliation. I don't think it was, because we're going to go over some information that says that they were targeting two senior Hamas militants, and apparently they took them out in this strike as well. So I don't know if these Hamas militants were hiding amongst the people here or what was going on, but apparently the IDF is stating that that was their main target, were these two Hamas militants, but this bomb dropped right in the middle of a camp. And there's lots and lots of footage online, like I said, and it's very horrible, very graphic stuff, and very terrible to see. But I want to report this because this is just coming out right now. So let me go ahead and get right into this for you. This is on AP. It says Palestinian medics say Israeli airstrikes kill 35 in Gaza's Rafah as displaced people are hit. So this just coming out today, just at 3:10 p.m. So it's 4:01 p.m. my time, Pacific time in America. So just about an hour ago, this came out. Palestinian health workers said Israeli airstrikes killed at least 35 people Sunday and hit tents for displaced people in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, and numerous others were trapped in flaming debris. Gaza's health ministry said women and children made up most of the dead and dozens of wounded. So that's what we're hearing once again, many of them being women and children. We hear that almost every time. Very terrible. The attacks came 2 days after the International Court of Justice ordered Israel to end its military offensive in Rafah, where more than half of Gaza's population had sought shelter before Israel's incursion earlier this month. Tens of thousands of people remain in the area, while many others have fled. Footage from the scene of the largest airstrike showed heavy destruction. Israel's army confirmed the strike and said it hit a Hamas installation and killed two senior Hamas militants. It said it was investigating reports that civilians were harmed. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant was in Rafah on Sunday and was briefed on the deepening of the operations there, his office said. Spokesperson with the Palestinian Red Crescent Society said the death toll was likely to rise as search and rescue efforts continued in Rafah's Tal al-Sultan neighborhood, about 2 kilometers or 1.2 miles northwest of the city center. It says right here, too, the society asserted that the location had been a designated area by Israel as a humanitarian area. The neighborhood is not included in areas that Israel's military ordered evacuated earlier this month. So, yeah, apparently this was a safe zone, okay? This was considered a humanitarian area designated by Israel. So why would they drop a bomb there? I just don't understand. If they're coming out and saying that they're not committing genocide and they would never do anything to commit genocide against the Palestinian people, and they're taking all action necessary to make sure they don't harm innocent civilians over here. But if Hamas is hiding amongst these people here that are in this camp, I don't see why they would just drop a bomb there. It's just there's way too many potential people that could be harmed here, and I don't see why they would do that. But then again, I wasn't there. I didn't see exactly what happened here, but from what we know, like I said, this was a camp that probably had hundreds of people here, and we know that 35 for sure have been killed in this attack so far. The airstrike was reported hours after Hamas fired a barrage of rockets from Gaza that set off air raid sirens as far away as Tel Aviv for the first time in months, in a show of resilience more than 7 months into Israel's massive air, sea, and ground offensive. So I will cite this down below. You guys can read the rest of this if you want to. It talks about other stuff going on in the Gaza Strip, some of these aid trucks that are coming into Israel, not bringing in aid, stuff like that. But again, guys, very sad. this is ongoing right now. I'm sure more information will be coming out talking about this. And as time goes on, we'll get more updates and I'll be able to bring you guys more information. But I do have a couple other things I can show you here real quick as well before we get you out of here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is from a post on X from Israel's Defense Forces, so the IDF directly. It says an IDF aircraft struck a Hamas compound in Rafah in which significant Hamas terrorists were operating a short while ago. The strike was carried out against legitimate targets under international law through the use of precise munitions and on the basis of precise intelligence that indicated Hamas's use of the area. The IDF is aware of reports indicating that a result of the strike and fire that was ignited several civilians in the area were harmed. The incident is under review. So they are looking into this right now and trying to figure out what happened here, how these innocent civilians were harmed. My only explanation here from what I see is most likely these Hamas militants that they were going after were probably hiding out amongst the innocent people here. That's what I'm thinking. But that's just speculation at the moment. I guess we'll find out more once we hear more news. But they're still investigating this at this time. So one more thing I want to show you here, also from the IDF, it says eliminated in the precise airstrike in northwest Rafah, Hamas chief of staff in Judea and Samaria. Is it Samaria? And an additional senior Hamas official. So 2 Hamas officials were eliminated. This is the information they have here. Terrorist number 1, Yassin Rabia. Rabia managed the entirety of Hamas's terrorist activity in Judea and Samaria, transferred funds to terrorist targets, and planned Hamas terrorist attacks throughout Judea and Samaria. He also carried out numerous attacks in which IDF soldiers were killed. So this was obviously one big person they were going after here. And here's another one. Terrorist number 2, Khaled Nagar. Nagar, a senior official in Hamas's Judea and Samaria headquarters, directed shooting attacks and other terrorist activities in Judea and Samaria. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those right, by the way. My apologies if I'm not. And transferred funds intended for Hamas's terrorist activities in Gaza. He also carried out several deadly terrorist attacks in which IDF soldiers were killed. So clearly both of these men here were wanted by the IDF due to their terroristic activities and killing IDF soldiers. So I'm assuming that's why they dropped these bombs. Again, I guess we'll find out soon why these bombs were dropped so close to the camp, and maybe this Hamas compound that they were going after, unfortunately, was right next to it. Who knows? Or maybe the IDF they missed. Maybe they missed when they dropped these bombs, and I don't see how that could happen. But I guess it's possible. I mean, we saw Russia doing the same thing. Okay, they dropped a bunch of glide bombs in the Belgorod area when they were trying to target areas in the front line of Ukraine, and they dropped them way too short, blowing up houses in Belgorod. So it can be possible that the IDF could have missed their target potentially here, but I don't know. I'm just speculating at the moment. We don't know for sure if this was a deliberate attack on the people there, but at the end of the day, this bomb did drop inside this camp, and like I said, we've got 35, maybe more civilians in the coming hours that we'll hear that were unfortunately killed in this strike. So it's very terrible. Again, this was mainly women and children once again, not so much men from what I'm hearing, but lots of innocent civilians are just being massacred over here all the time and due to this war. And it's very horrible. Just wanted to get this out there to you. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.